Charges to the lead, and he stays right there. Impressive East Coast Marine out of New York. He's got this boat dialed in very nicely, and he's extending the lead slightly over M1 Dirty Laundry, who you see in your picture right now. Passing a slower boat in the middle of your picture right there. On the outside, that's Impressive's Chariots of Fire, and right behind him, several hundred yards behind, is Dirty Laundry. But let's stay with M1 Dirty Laundry. This is a 32-foot white skater catamaran powered by twin 540 horsepower KS&W inboards with Mercruiser outdrives. This boat is owned by Joe Mack from Manchester, Missouri, and on throttles he's got Harold Stepp from Altamont Springs, Florida. The crew of Mack and Stepp, what can we say? They've been truly a picture of consistency throughout the year. Dirty Laundry took first place nationally for 1988 in the modified class, holding off John Emmons in Harrah's Chariots of Fire. They had a duel all year. Mack prevailed in the Dirty Laundry race team. He looks very strong at this point in the race right now. But Joey running in the Chariots of Fire name right now is slightly ahead of Mack's Dirty Laundry. They'll be dueling most of the day with Cat, American Dream, Chariots of Fire, and Dirty Laundry will be very, very tough. An M66 Special Edition will also be competitive in today's race. But you're sitting with your national champion for '88, who enjoyed a very good campaign, Joe Mack's Dirty Laundry. Joey and Pressure still hanging on to a slight lead over Mack in Dirty Laundry. Now we come up on a stock boat. This boat is Conch Attack. This is a 24-foot skater catamaran powered by twin 200 horsepower Mercury outboards. This boat is owned by Cates Brothers Offshore Racing in Key West, Florida. You've got Scott C. Cates as your driver and Craig Cates on your throttles. Everyone hailing from Key West, Florida, so these are local racers right here. So they're very familiar with the water conditions out here, the race course, and obviously they have a lot of hometown rooters back in Mallory Square pulling for a Conch Attack race team. There are so many boats entered in stock class. You've got the Calabats, K&K Ghost, Main Attraction, Longshot, Bermuda's Racing Team, East Coast Marine, Hat Trick, Vigilante, Crime Buster, Conch Attack, and the list goes on and on. High Risk is there, Talon Special, many more who you've seen throughout the year. The Cates brothers are very comfortable racing. They've been out in these waters for many years, and they're very comfortable in their 24-foot skater. They really know the limitations of what this boat can do. You can see right there, they're pushing this boat to its limits. They get a little loose at times, but that's just because they're really pushing this boat and trying to get everything they can out of it. They're really charging hard right now. The Cates brothers in Conch Attack from Key West, Florida. Attack having a very fine run. Right there on the inside of your picture, that is Mac's Dirty Laundry, and Felson's High Risk on the outside. Different class boats, so not to worry in terms of the competition there. But Dirty Laundry is still charging hard as he chases and pressures Chariots of Fire. But right now we're staying with S77, the High Risk race team. This is a 25-foot skater catamaran powered by twin 200 horsepower Mercury outboard motors. This boat is owned by Richard Felson from Great Neck, New York, who is also your driver of record. However, Rich does the throttling on this race team, and his navigator and driver is John Engel from Seminole, Florida. Felson had a very fine 1988. He came in second place this year, just behind Dick O'Day Racing and Accurate Marine. They dueled it out all year, but Dick O'Day prevailed over Felson's High Risk race team by a mere 120 points. A little bit of a rough ride right here for this 24-foot skater, but nonetheless Felson knows what his boat has also, and he's charging very hard right now. He's presently in the midst of a fierce competitive battle in class between some of the boats we mentioned earlier on. But Felson, being the true champion that he is, and having a very competitive and successful 1988 campaign, knows what's ahead of him for these 3 days of racing, and I'm sure he's got his strategy mapped out. From Key West, Florida, Rich Felson's High Risk race team. Felson's High Risk race team having a good day. This is unfortunate. F-15, someone who's not having such a good day. This is Nick Antonelli and Scott Barnhart of the Spirit of America race team, who obviously pushed this 24-foot boat a little too hard. We do hear over the radio from the medical copter that they are both in very good physical shape, so that is a fortunate break for them. Now we come up on boat number 35 and back to the open class. This boat is known as Priority 1. It is a 39-foot active catamaran. This boat is powered by twin 7-horsepower Chevy inboards with Merc Cruiser drives. This boat is owned and driven by Gregory Buchanan from Sarasota, Florida. His navigator is Wayne Wyckoff from Bradenton, Florida, and on throttles he's got Brett Archer from Bradenton, Florida. So the crew of Archer, Wyckoff, and Buchanan making up the Priority 1 race team. Now we come up on M7, the boat known as Cat. This sleek 33-foot Baja Image catamaran is powered by twin Merc Cruiser inboards with Merc Cruiser drives. This boat is owned and throttled by Al Kropp from Scherville, Indiana. It is being driven today by John Dummel from Arlington Heights, Illinois. So the crew of Dummel and Kropp making up the Cat race team. Al Kropp had a very good 1988 campaign. He finished in 3rd place nationally in the modified division, which really symbolizes the success that the Cat race team has enjoyed throughout '88. But right now, Kropp is really trying to challenge hard Dirty Laundry in today's race. He's looking very good right now. Dirty Laundry is presently in 1st place. Cat is in 2nd place. So it is between those two drivers, just as it has been between these two guys all year. So Kropp is really charging hard in the Cat race team. Just listen to the throttling job that he's doing right now. go to Vic Spellberg, who earlier on spoke with Al Kropp of the Cat Race Team.
We're sitting out here on M7 with Al Kropp. In fact, we're sitting out here on a new capsule. Al, tell us a little bit about this.
Well, most of the fatalities and injuries today have come from boat stuffing. We are very safety conscious and took some efforts to design a capsule, and with the help of Image Boats, designed a capsule that we feel will give us some protection and a little more longevity to the life of the boat.
With the capsule and possibly a false sense of security, no wind, how does that affect you? Make you go too fast?
I don't think so, Vic. You know, we still respect the water and all the damage it can do to our boat and ourselves. I believe, you know, it's just one more added safety factor. It's not a reason to break any rules or to become unsafe. We don't become unsafe because we've got the safety capsule or go any faster.
Well, we wish you good luck tomorrow. We hope you get a checkered flag, but more than that, we wish you a safe race. Good luck, Al.
Thanks, Vic.
Having a very good day as he chases Joe Mack's Dirty Laundry. It's between these two boats right now in class. We have heard that Joey Impression's Chariots of Fire has dropped out in that division, so it's going to be between those two guys right now in modified. Here we're coming up on a stock boat, S240, East Coast Marine. This boat is a 24-foot Douglas Skater catamaran powered by twin 200 horsepower Mercury outboards. This boat is owned and driven by Kevin Stevens from Pembroke, Bermuda, and on his throttles and navigator, he's got Henry Trott from Devonshire, Bermuda. So it is a Bermuda race team, but the reason why they do have the name East Coast Marine from New York is that East Coast Marine does maintain this boat for Kevin Stevens. So the crew from Bermuda is having a very good day here today in stock class. They're presently running in 5th place behind the other boat from Bermuda, Bermuda's Racing Team. So the boats from Bermuda are being represented here very good in the stock class, and they're having a very good run right now. Stevens and Trott of East Coast Marine from Bermuda having a very fine day of racing in S240 from Key West. East Coast Marine having a very fine day. Now we come up on boat number 13. C&G is awesome. There's a 46-foot Cougar V-bottom with 3 800 horsepower C&G Cobra inboards with Mercury number 4 outdrives. This boat is owned and throttled by Elliott Sutton from North Miami Beach, Florida. He's got Randy Garcia as his driver and Larry Goldman as his navigator. Garcia from North Miami, Florida, Goldman from Hollywood, Florida. So the Floridians making up C&G's awesome race team, and they're having a very good run right now. They're trailing PTM Express and Gentry Eagle and Gentry's Turbo Eagle as we start heading toward one of the last legs of today's race. Elliott Sutton, C&G Awesome, having a very fine run as he chases the leaders in the Superboat class. C&G is awesome. It really is sounding awesome at this point in time. Those 3 800 horsepower C&G Cobra inboards are really doing the job, and this boat is really starting to make a move and closing the gap between himself and the lead pack in the Superboat category. C&G's awesome race team. As we leave C&G's Awesome, we come up on S54, Vigilante Racing. This 24-foot Douglas Marine catamaran is powered by twin 200 horsepower Mercury outboard motors. This boat is owned by Michael Moritz of St. Louis, Missouri. Michael is also doing the driving, and his throttle man is George Peterson from West Islip, New York. George Peterson, your East Coast freeze frame rider, freeze frame video East Coast rider. George Peterson has been around racing for many, many years. He's truly a seasoned veteran in this sport, and he's teamed up with Michael Moritz for the Vigilante Racing Team. Vigilante Race Team is running in your lead pack right now with K&K Ghost, Main Attraction, and Longshot. So Peterson and Moritz are certainly enjoying a fine run in the Vigilante Race Team right now. As you can see, the boat looks very strong at this point in the race. At times getting a little loose, but Peterson, with his experience and technician, masterful qualities on that throttle, really get the boat dialed in quite nicely, and Moritz is doing a great job driving this boat throughout the course. So Peterson and Moritz are having a fine day right now in Vigilante Racing. Vigilante Race Team still looking very strong and competitive at this point in the race. They're enjoying a very fine run at this time. Right here, the motors start to be trimming up on their own, it seems. That starboard motor seems to be coming out of the water. As you can see, it is breaking the plane, the vertical plane, and is coming way out of the water, trimming way up, and obviously the boat is reacting to the trim that starboard motor is right now, just shooting out a very high rooster tail. Port motor seems to be okay, but the starboard motor is way out of the water, trimmed all the way up, thus presenting this problem right here. There you see it right there. We're not sure what it is. Could have been a blown hose, some type of pump, whatever, but you can just see that starboard motor trimmed way out of the water right now. Tough break for the Vigilante Race Team. Now we come up on another stock boat, S3, Main Attraction. This is a 32-foot Maelstrom catamaran by twin 200 horsepower Mercury outboard motors. This boat is owned by Paul E. Kesselring from Sarasota, Florida, who is also doing the throttles. His driver today is Thomas Moeller, also hailing from Sarasota, Florida. So the crew from Sarasota, Florida, Kesselring and Moeller, making up your main attraction race team, are having a pretty good run right now at this point in time. They're second place right now behind the Calabats K&K Ghost. So they're having a very good run actually right here. Main attraction holding off Longshot, who's in third place, and closing the gap between themselves and K&K Ghost right now. Just several minutes separating your first and second place boat right now. Kesselring and Moeller looking very strong right now and charging very hard as this first day of racing is coming to a close for some of the classes. They're really trying hard right now to overtake K&K Ghost, who's in first place and closing the gap hard. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but we wish them all the best. S3, main attraction, closing out today's competition in class for themselves right now as they head toward home. Come up on S1. This is Bermuda's Racing Team. It is a 24-foot skater catamaran powered by twin 200 horsepower Mercury outboards. This boat is owned and throttled by Derek Simmons from Pembroke, Bermuda. And his driver today is Wesley Wilson from Southampton, Bermuda. So the crew of Simmons and Wilson from Bermuda make up Bermuda's Racing Team. And there's a reason for that S1 number on that boat. These guys had a phenomenal year. They took first place in the S class. They took first place in 1988 nationally in the stock class competition, holding off Felson's high-risk race team, as we mentioned earlier on. So Derek Simmons from Pembroke, Bermuda, had a very good campaign, and he's out here right now trying to take the World Championships also in stock class. They're presently running in fourth place behind K&K, main attraction, Longshot. But right now, fourth place, third place in the first leg of racing is definitely a good spot to be in with 2 more days of racing after this. So Pembroke, being the true champion that he is, knows what he has to do just to maintain the point standings for the World Championships, and that's what he's set out to do today. From Key West, Florida, it's Derek Simmons, Bermuda Racing Team from Bermuda, having a very good day today. Bermuda's Racing Team, S1, your national champion for '88. S1 and Longshot going for the finish right here in stock class. This is for your third and fourth place finisher right here. Longshot on the outside, Bermuda's Racing Team on the inside. These boats, Longshot taking a slight lead on the outside, going by Bermuda's Racing Team right here. He's made his move in the final stretch heading toward home, and Longshot is taking the lead over Bermuda's Racing Team right there. You've just seen the big push for third place between these two boats. So right now as it stands, Longshot is in third place with Bermuda's Racing Team in fourth place, but not giving in at all. S1 is still charging hard. You see the wake of the boat of Longshot in the top of your screen, and obviously Longshot is in sight of the S1 race boat. Simmons has them dialed in, and he's charging hard, trying to retake the lead. There you see the distance between Longshot and Simmons in S1 as they round the final checkpoint heading toward home. And here we're staying with Randy Schism, who has just made that big move to take third place. S5, the Longshot race team. This is a 24-foot red Skater catamaran powered by twin 200 horsepower Mercury outboard motors. This boat is owned and throttled by Randy Schism from St. Peters, Missouri, and his driver is Larry Van Amity from St. Clair Shores, Michigan. Longshot race team. They had a very good campaign this year. They've raced 3 times and they took a first place each time. Grand Haven was a first, Port Huron was a first, and Atlantic City, New Jersey, they took a first place there also. They hope to be the 1988 world champion, and with a move that he just made to close out in third place in class, he's certainly going to be positioning himself in a fine spot for Thursday's leg of this championship. So Schism really has his dialed in quite nicely. The Longshot race team looking very strong, and Schism hopes to make true his prophecy of being the 1988 world champion in class. We wish them all the best. From Key West, Florida, Longshot race team. Longshot, we come up on S17 Hat-Trick. This is a 24-foot skater powered by twin 200 horsepower Mercury outboard motors. This boat is owned and driven by Marshall Buter Jr. from St. Charles, Missouri, and on throttles he's got Terry L. Ayers, also from St. Charles. The Hat-Trick race team, who are also trying to make a strong close toward the finish. They're presently running in 5th or 6th place right now, behind a couple of the boats from Bermuda, but charging hard nonetheless. S17 Hat-Trick Racing. Right now we're closing out with Hat-Trick. Many of the boats are already in and finished through Mallory Square, and we'll be compiling our final results for today. From beautiful Key West, Florida, Freeze Frame Video Sports Productions is proud to present the second leg of the Offshore World Cup Championship 1988. Hello again, everyone. Shelly Kahn speaking to you on behalf of Jeff Girardi and the entire Freeze Frame Sports